Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, I'm just going to give you a quick market update. So just to be clear, whatever I say in this video should not be considered financial advice, and I'd advise you to do your own research before you buy any cryptocurrency. Okay, stay to the very end of this episode and I will give you a gem pick banger that I think will do very good in the immediate short term. So if you're excited for that, please smash up the like button and let's get into today's video. Okay, so here we have the Bitcoin price. So obviously I'm looking at the CME futures Bitcoins chart. Now there's a reason why I'm looking at this chart and I'll tell you in a second. But it did actually top out over 100K last week on the CME futures for Bitcoin. But today we did see a sell-off then last week, and it did hit a low of back to maybe 91,000. But over today we have seen some nice gains out of Bitcoin. It did recover, and it's roughly now at $97,000. Now I did put out this tweet yesterday, so this is my prediction of the BTC price action for the next 2 months. So if you look at this image here, we see that it does actually break the 100K level. Now, the reason why I have drawn this is because I do believe that we are going to see it break 100,000. There's a lot of short liquidations at 100,000. So if it does wick past 100,000, it will liquidate a lot of shorts, cascading the price even higher. So I predict that maybe the price would end up going to about $106,000 or $107,000 for BTC, and then we will see a sharp retrace. So if we go back to the Bitcoin futures chart, and I'll show you that there is a CME gap here for Bitcoin, and it's coming in at it would have to retrace back to about 78K to close that CME gap. Now you're probably asking, what exactly is a CME gap? So CME futures trade like the traditional stock market. So it's like Monday to Friday. So then it's obviously closed at the weekend. So whatever price action, actually, we know that cryptocurrency is 24/7. So whatever price action occurs then on the weekend, then it will just appear once it opens again the following Monday morning. So we could see that there was a gap here between Friday and Monday of, so let's say from 78,000 to, let's say, roughly about 80,000. So that gap, usually on the CME futures, these gaps usually get filled. So I'll try and show you a previous example. So if we go back to November of 2023, we did see, if you look in closely here, I'll just zoom in a little bit. You can see that there was another CME gap right here. And as you can see, the price came down to fill the gap. So usually the gap fills 80% of the time. Obviously, not all the time. There is some occasions where it does not fill. But usually when we're trading, we like to trade off probabilities. So 80% of the time is a very high probability that it will fill that gap. My prediction is that over the next few days, we will see the price action to break out of maybe 100,000. I'm aiming maybe around Thanksgiving. So we know Thanksgiving is on tomorrow. So we know that a lot of families will get together and they'll talk about their crypto gains, and they'll maybe persuade other family members to get into cryptocurrency. So this might push up the price of Bitcoin over the next 2 days, maybe so that we might actually break the 100K level. And if so, then we break it and it will liquidate a lot of shorts, and then eventually we will see a huge sell-off from the market makers and eventually bringing the price down to close that CME gap at 78K. Now, again, this is just a prediction. It's not 100% sure this is going to happen. This is just my prediction of how Bitcoin's price is going to play out over the next 2 months. Again, we will see enormous amount of buy pressure if it does come down to that level, because we have a bright future ahead of ourselves. I do believe that 2025 will be very good for price action for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. Because if you look at the Bitcoin chart, like, it actually has gone up a crazy amount over the past 2 months, and there's a lot of inefficiencies there. And usually, like, we do know that price action doesn't just go up in a straight line. It is due a nice pullback. So in my opinion, I do believe that we will get a nice pullback of maybe like 20%, 20 to 30%. And this will be actually quite healthy for the market. It will actually let more people that are sidelined to get into Bitcoin. So if we just look at this Wyckoff market cycle, so there's 4 phases in a market cycle. So there's accumulation, then there's expansion, a markup phase, and then there's distribution, and then followed by a markdown phase. So if we just go back to this chart here, this was the accumulation of the summer. This was like 7 months long before we had a breakout, and now we're in the markup phase. But a markup phase also does have pullbacks. So in my opinion, we are overdue a nice pullback. Now, I do know that there is a lot of FOMO, especially from nation states. The fact that Donald Trump is going to make a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States. And I'm sure there's so many other countries listening to this and obviously wanting to front run this. So again, this is just my prediction. It might not play out. Okay, so if we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, we can see here, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart, and I have drawn this rise and wedge pattern. And usually this is like a 68% chance of it breaking to the downside. But lo and behold, it actually broke out of this rising wedge. But if we zoom in here, you can actually see now it's actually breaking to the downside. We just have to wait and see. But we really want the Bitcoin dominance to drop. As this drops, then we know that there's going to be way more money going into the altcoin sector. And this will just signal a massive alt season. Okay, so we're moving on to Ethereum. So Ethereum is looking good. It's starting to catch a bid here. It's after breaking out of this diagonal trend line here. So we might get a retest of this trend line. So I might just come back down to retest this trend line off to the races then again. Overall, like Ethereum has been well underperforming against Bitcoin. So it's still, let's just see here. So yeah, it's still like 35% away from all-time highs. So I do believe that we are starting to see a rotation into Ethereum. You're even starting to notice that with the ETF inflows for ETH. But again, if we look at Ethereum priced against BTC, I'm starting to think now this is the actual low, and we will start to see some gains for Ethereum against the BTC chart. Okay, so in some other news, obviously the meme coins on Solana are still catching a bid, and they're still the best performing narrative this cycle so far. So I did see this tweet here from Phantom Wallet. So that's the top wallet for Solana users. It tweeted, trending on Phantom is the new exchange listing. So if you log on to your Phantom wallet, if it's on your Chrome browser or if it's on your phone, and you can see the trending page. So you will see what coins are trending. And obviously a lot of newbies are logging in, downloading the Phantom wallet, and they're just seeing what's trending and they're just buying what's trending. So shout out to Easy Eats Bodega. He actually mentioned this in his live stream there, I think yesterday or the day before. So like if you see, this is pretty similar what the trending page would look like. So you can see that like just buy $2 of this coin, or $1 million men, or whatever coin is trending seems to be catching a bid. So this is just even more evidence to show that retail is back in the space. Okay, so next up, Watch Guru. I also noticed that MetaMask users in the US can now buy crypto using Venmo. So MetaMask is the native wallet for Ethereum. So it's very similar to the Phantom wallet. You can download it to your Chrome browser. I'm not sure that you can download it on your phone. I think it's only just for Chrome extension. Just in, Vancouver Mayor proposes a motion for the city to adopt Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So again, this is just more and more FOMO trying to get into Bitcoin, because we all know that as we move into the future, inflation is going to be a problem. So more and more nation states want to adopt the Bitcoin strategy. Okay, so moving on here again, Justin Elon Musk says the IRS will be audited by the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. So we're just going to hear Doge over and over again. So this is obviously going to bode well for the cryptocurrency called Dogecoin. So it's very exciting times, the time we are living in currently. And I do suspect that 2025 will be a great year for cryptocurrency. So like I said, that I do believe the low is in for Ethereum. And if you look at the Ethereum ecosystem coins, so you can see Lido is catching a bid. It's up 18% on the weekly. 8.9% on the day. Also, Uniswap is up 43% over the last week and 13% today. So we are really seeing that Ethereum is catching a bid here, finally. And like I said at the start of the video, so my gem pick for you today is the cryptocurrency called OTC. So OTC is a decentralized exchange where you can actually sell your Ethereum ecosystem coins without having to affect the price. So what you do is you log onto the website, you connect your wallet, and you say that you want to sell, let's say, any ETH ecosystem coin, and then other people then using the site can buy it off you directly over the counter. So OTC is actually a play on words. It actually means over the counter trading. I did do a deep dive on this cryptocurrency last year. It's here on my YouTube page. So if you want to check that out, I'd advise you to give that video a watch. So there you have it, folks. That is your video. So I would suggest to be prepared for one final shakeout for Bitcoin. Again, no, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know for sure if it's going to happen, but I would not be surprised if we do see a big wick down, maybe like 20 to 30%. And if that does occur, I do suspect that it will bring the altcoins with it. So just be cognizant of that. But I do believe the future is bright for Bitcoin and crypto. So that is your video. If you got value out of this one, please go down, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.